What is going on, everybody? Welcome back, Due to Bet Daily, December 16th, 2022, and we are officially bowling here. Miami, Ohio, UAB kicked off about 30 minutes ago. UAB 11-point favorite in the game, already up 7-0, about to kick a field goal again to go up 10-0. We'll start right there. Aaron, did you play this game at all?
I didn't. I'll be honest. I used to love the bowls, but with all the opting out and stuff, it's a lot. And I'm very busy with horse racing, and it's a lot to try to read up on what player has opted out of this MAC school that I don't follow day in and day out. So I stayed away from this one. I do have some thoughts on the next one that's going to play today, but we'll wait for that.
Oh, don't worry. We will get there. Papa Dude, Aaron mentions the opt-out. UAB's top running back, actually the largest average per carry running back in the nation, McBride, opted out last night to this game.
Wow.
He's averaging 7.1 yards a carry. Told the team last night he wasn't going to go. He's projected by Todd McShay to be a Pro Bowl NFL player. That's the reason he doesn't want to play in this game. Does the opting out change the way you play bowl games?
Well, it has to. I mean, you've got to – he waited till last night.
Yeah, to officially tell his team, yeah.
Oh, this is just getting to where I may not be a college football fan much longer. I mean, why would you wait till last night?
Yeah.
You know, that's if you want an opt out, okay, but you should do it 3 weeks ahead of time. I mean, they've made a game plan, everything revolving around this guy. And then he comes and tells him he's not going to play. That's unbelievable. I wonder if he made the trip to the Bahamas on their money. I wonder if he did that, you know, because these two teams have got a great bowl. They're in the Bahamas. He probably is down there. So I tell him you're going to find your own way home. So
he's there to quote unquote support the freshman running back.
Oh yeah, you got it. I do think this next game at 2:00 this afternoon is really good. These are two good teams. And I was going to put that in a best bet, but I tell you, it's kind of a toss-up type game. You know, bowl games always are, but that is a good one. You got two conference champions going at it, and that one's interesting. That's interesting. And the line has fluctuated back and forth between the two. You got a great defensive team in Troy against a really good offensive team in UTSA. So something's got to give. But that's an interesting game, and I haven't heard many opt-outs in that one.
Well, we'll get to that one in a second. Before we do, just want to give a shout-out to Spencer joining us in the chat here. If you don't listen to Redboard Rewind, go check that out over at In the Money. They do a great job of covering some races over the weekend. Spencer tonight likes Portland +4. The Knicks money line, we'll talk about that game because it's another revenge game at back-to-back in Chicago there. And the Isles in Arizona over 6. We'll also mention that one, won't we, Papa Dude?
Yeah, we will.
All right, so let's jump right into it here, and let's kick it off with UTSA and Troy. This has been an interesting line move. We weren't sure about the UTSA quarterback, Harris, whether or not he was going to play. Apparently, the boosters raised enough money for him to come back for a 7th year. Yes, he will be a 7th-year player next year at UTSA, and so he is going to start the bowl game today. They're facing Troy. It's an interesting offensive-defensive matchup. Troy, one of the top 10 adjusted defenses in the nation. The Roadrunners, one of the top 15 adjusted offenses in the nation. Troy better against the pass and the run, but pretty good against both here. Line open, Troy -2 specifically because of those quarterback concerns. It's now flipped to UTSA -2.5 here. Papa Dude, we'll start out with you. You thought this was an interesting. What side do you like here?
Well, you know, I kind of weighed the strength of the conferences. And UTSA is from Conference USA. And Troy is from the Sun Belt, which was very strong this year. So that's the stronger conference. They've won 10 in a row. But a lot of people that I look at each morning when I'm trying to decide are going with the Roadrunners. And the Roadrunners have more experience. This is the 2nd year in a row they've been really good. Their quarterback is dynamic. If he's all in, it's not, of course, that money has got him all in. He's probably going to make more money playing this game than he would have been anywhere else. I don't know if he's a pro prospect or not. I went around and around. When I first picked it, when I first thought, I said, I'm going to go with Troy. And then I got to reading stuff. I just think if San Antonio can get ahead, Troy doesn't have the kind of offense to catch up. I think that's the key. So I'm going to go with the Roadrunners at -2.5.
It's an interesting one here. I think that if you're going to play a side, you can almost play a total with it. If UTSA covers, this game probably goes over. If Troy covers, it probably goes under.
Absolutely.
And so if you like a side, this is one where I think you could try, take half the money, put a parlay in there and play the proper over or under, depending on who you like here. I'm going to take Troy in the 2.5, simply because I do agree with you, Papa. I think they played a tougher schedule. And if you look at the matchups where UTSA has played big-time teams, they've struggled a little bit in those games, specifically Houston and Texas. I'm not saying Troy is either of those teams, but they are probably the second or third best team that UTSA has faced so far this year. Aaron, what are your thoughts here on this one?
I think this is going to be a great game, but I almost took Troy in this spot as my best bet, but I'll go ahead and I'll just take him for this game here. I'm going to play him on the money line. I like the plus money on Troy. The 2.5 points, I don't really think we need those. That could be famous last words, but I think Troy's a better team. And Papa Dude, I thought you were going to lean towards Troy when you made that conference argument. That's my biggest thing. I think Troy has played better teams. These two teams are very similar. They've ran through their conferences, and they had 2 losses to teams that, from a little bit bigger conferences. I just feel, end of the day, Troy is going to get the job done here. I think they're a little better than UTSA.
So my best bet actually comes from this game, but it is not a side or a total. I'll jump into it here. I'm going to take Frank Harris's over 43.5 rushing yards, the quarterback for UTSA that we talked about. In every one of the games that have been against big schools, he's gotten at least 10 carries. If he gets 10 carries today, he's going to go over that 43.5. And in these type of games where you got to get the W and you have a running quarterback, especially at the end of the season, they tend to run more. I also think Troy's pass defense is pretty stout. So you might have a couple of those scramble runs as well. So I like the over 43.5 today for Frank Harris. And what I thought was a pretty tough day to find a best bet, to be honest.
Oh. You're going to see. Yes, that it was. Can you see mine?
There was nothing really.
All right, let's jump over to the ice here. St. Louis Blues, after a ridiculous comeback win last night, are plus 190 in Calgary tonight, who's laying 230. The total sitting at 6. I picked this one because this was my almost other best bet. I like the Flames laying the goal and a half tonight, getting plus 120. I'm going to fade our Blues. I don't think they can do it back-to-back nights, especially with Grice and goal tonight. Aaron, what do you think?
You're the biggest hater ever. It's just incredible. We come off a game where we score shorthanded with 19 seconds left to tie it, lose in overtime only for the goal to be disallowed, and then win in a shootout. And you're going against us. And not only are you going against us, you're wanting to lay a goal and a half. Craziness. Yep. All that being said, I'll take Calgary to win the game tonight. I think this is a really tough spot for the Blues. Now, full disclosure, I picked the Blues last night. I thought that was a spot they could win. Like you said, you got Tommy Grice back in the net tonight. He hasn't been bad, but at times he has kind of been not great, let's say. If he plays a great game tonight, like he has done a few times, we might win. But in the end, I think Calgary is the play.
Yeah, for me, it's the spot here, Papa Dude. Aaron mentioned the miraculous comeback last night. That's got to take it out of you. And you're flying from Edmonton to Calgary. After that game, you're getting in at 2-3 in the morning, and then you're heading right back to the rink to take on a Calgary team that's going to try and exploit you with speed. Doesn't seem like a great matchup here.
No, and also you can add when you're a team that uses every excuse they can think of to lose a game, because they've got the excuse tonight, and they're good about that. The Blues are real good. Oh, we're tired. We're tired. We have sore legs and all that. I think they used up every bit of luck they could possibly use up last night, and this is a tough trip anyway. So, if they could get off to a good start, maybe. The Flames aren't great, but I just don't think they're going to be able to get back to ready to play tonight. So I'm going to go with the Flames also. I don't know about that 1.5 though.
Oh yeah. We'll lay the 1.5. Take the plus money, baby. All right, let's go to the hard court here. We've got the Knicks and the Bulls. We talked last night about the Pelicans and the Jazz back-to-back games in Utah. Well, the Knicks and the Bulls going back-to-back here in Chicago. Knicks plus 4 was my best bet on Wednesday. That one cashed in overtime, although the Knicks controlled the mass majority of that game. Now you're just catching 2.5. Total hasn't moved much. Was 225 on Wednesday, 225.5 today. I would run it back with the Knicks here. I think they're the better team. I didn't make it the best bet. I am going to play the game at plus 2.5. Papa Dude, what do you think here?
I really believe that they are the best team, and they're playing well right now. It's just, can they win 2 in a row in Chicago? Yeah, it's hard to do. It really is when the teams aren't really one-sided. They're pretty similar. I'm with you. I'm going the Knicks because you're getting better money on the Knicks in a game they can win. And you're right. I thought they were going to blow that game for you. You had it the whole way. And it's the way this crap has been going for us. And I thought, my God, there's another one.
When it went into overtime, I was like, yeah, he's losing.
Yeah. I mean, it's just been unbelievable how this is happening to us.
They were up 11 in the first half. RJ Barrett gets into foul trouble. That lead evaporates. They get back up 6 or 7 in the third quarter, pretty much up between 4 and 6 through the entire second half, and then blow it late. The game goes to overtime. Luckily, they dominated in overtime. I still like the Knicks here. They've been playing good defense. That's the main reason I took them the other night. Aaron, what are your thoughts?
Bulls big tonight. Revenge. They hate New York. Bulls, New York. What a rivalry that was back in the day. It's reignited after that overtime loss. Bulls big tonight.
Yeah, one in every crowd.
Yeah, you know.
Hey, I want to answer Davey's question here. I'm assuming he's talking about the fantasy draft last night. Okay, just give me a minute here. I thought that was about as entertaining as a group of misfits can come up with. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I just get the biggest kick out of Kelby Von Himmel. The guy is as deadpanned as anybody I've ever seen. You know, it's just like he wouldn't say anything. Yeah, well, this is who we're going with. Well, how come, Kelby? Why? Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a horse. It's got 4 legs, runs in circles.
Yeah. Bafford's a trainer. Why not? I think it's pretty good. And then Shotty and Davey, of course, they were great. Miranda coming on there and giving her rant was good. Magic and Mike was fantastic. Magic was too much. But anyway, that's all right. And I know Mike was thinking the same thing. I could see it all over you, Mike. You were sitting.
It's funny you mentioned it. This is the first draft I've not been drunk for. And it was much different because I wasn't, because being drunk for that draft with Magic as your partner is a really good way to go, because then you just kind of roll with it. And then when you're sober, you're just like, oh boy, man, what do I even do here? So,
and then you had Jared, who couldn't make up his mind. I mean, come on, Jared. We don't really want to hear you go, well, you know, I kind of like this one, but I don't know whether I want to do that one. And, well, I'll tell you, I'm thinking about this one too, and I don't really know. And
People in the private chat were going, this is great content.
They're just slamming them. I love it.
And then who else was on there? Paul, and of course, Ryan's a great guy, and Vinny. Yeah. So it was really fun. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun. You guys did a great job.
I enjoyed Geist's dig at Chad Brown in the first round, too. I thought that was very well done. If you don't know what we're talking about, the Racing Dudes fantasy draft was last night. 52-year-olds drafted for the upcoming Kentucky Derby Road. Really cool thing to check out if you're interested in horse racing. I probably added 4 or 5 horses to my stable just based on the picks, then looked at back. Okay, who are these horses, right? Because they were horses that weren't on the list that we thought were relevant, but are definitely going to be in some stakes races and interesting horses moving forward. So if nothing else, it's a little bit of a shit show, but if nothing else, it is a great way to kind of get caught up on some of the horses.
One other one. Is this the Michael that was on last night?
No. Okay. That was Michael Myers. It was on last night.
Okay, right. I thought his was awesome. Who's his teammate?
Dan.
Yeah. When Dan made a pick and Michael didn't know who the horse was.
Yeah.
Awesome Strong. I think the horse is awesome something.
Yes.
And he goes, Aaron goes, why'd you pick that horse, Michael? He goes, hell, I don't know. I don't even know who that horse is.
Yeah, it's like I said, wonderful content, but worthwhile to check out simply because it's a good way to kind of get caught up on some of the 2-year-olds. Yep. All right, jump back into the sports here. We got the Sacramento Kings heading into Detroit, laying 6, total sitting at 237. We'll start with you, Aaron, since I know you love these games. Who do you like here, the Kings or the Pistons?
Detroit, not good. Kings, getting better, I think. Sacramento, minus the 6. It's got to be a slow night in the NBA if this is one we're talking about. Sacramento, big.
Good pick. This was almost my best bet. That's why we're talking about it. I almost played the Kings minus 6 as a best bet. I kind of like the over 237 as well. Papa Dude, what do you think?
Well, the Pistons won their game for the month. Wednesday night, I think.
Yeah.
So that's their game for the month. They win one a month, and they've already won it. So the Kings are playing really well. They're 15-12. They're 7th in the West Division. I can't believe I know all this stuff, but they are. So I'm with you. I think they roll tonight.
Yeah, the Pistons right now are number one. I think it's Wembanyama. He's the pretty much a reverential draft pick that's available in the NBA this year. The number one pick. The Kings right now, or the Pistons right now, the worst team in the NBA, trying to get that pick. All right, let's head out west for our final NBA game here. Nuggets laying 1.5 at the Los Angeles Lakers. Total sitting at 237.5. Lakers have been playing some better basketball here. You got Davis healthy. You've got James healthy. Starting to figure it out. The 3-point percentage ticking up a little bit. Papa Dude. You like the Nuggets or the Lakers here?
I see an upset tonight. This is kind of a game the Lakers win, and the Nuggets is kind of a game they lose. Sometimes they don't play well on the road. The Lakers are playing better. They were on a long road trip and did okay. They didn't get buried. Now they got to get home and start playing a little, winning some games. That's a high number, but both of these teams can score. I picked the Lakers on the money line today for the thing Aaron and I do. So I think the Lakers are going to win tonight. I like them a lot in this one.
Give me the Nuggets laying the 1.5. I think they get the job done in Los Angeles. Aaron, break the tie.
Nuggets, big.
Knew that was coming. All right, let's head over to Gulfstream Park. The race of the day. We're back on turf, baby. Let's go to the 8th race on the card here. We've got, a mile? I think it's a mile or 7.5 furlongs, I believe. I got to scroll down to it because I wasn't prepared here. All right, there we go. It's a mile over the turf course. We've got 4 2-year-olds, which have never won a race other than a maiden. Your favorite here is going to be the 6-horse Tall Girl. Christophe Clement Barn, Ira Ortiz won a maiden 75K up at Aqueduct against the lackluster field, and now is sitting 7-5 here on the morning line. It feels like one of those you're either singling or you're just going to play against. Aaron, what do you like?
Well, after Dr. Miranda's lovely comments last night and a horse named Tall Girl, that kind of reminds me of Dr. Miranda. And I'm thinking single. I think Tall Girl gets it done here. Really nice performance last time out. Now we get Ira Ortiz Jr. aboard here. I really like this 6. I think this horse is ready. I think it's a really good spot. And of course, with Christophe Clement, he usually is pretty good about spotting his horses. So I think the 6 is going to be really tough. I think the horse that could beat the 6 is the next logical one, and that's the 8, Miss New York. I think that horse will run very well today over the turf. But end of the day, I am going to take number 6, Tall Girl, on top.
I think Tall Girl is probably the logical winner. I agree with you in that front. The price is not going to be great. I think you got to give a look to the 2-horse, Kitty Quick, who I think is going to be your leader into that first turn and could take this field gate to wire in what is a paceless race. I think the 8 has a pace edge on the 6 as well. I'm calling the upset here. I'm going 2-8 here in multi-race bets and see if we can get around the 6-horse, who's going to be a very short price in this spot. I had to drop down to maiden claiming level in New York to get the job done.
The 2, hold on here. Let me look at this. Kitty Quick. Okay.
Aaron does not like the 2 one bit. Welcome to horse racing, right? So we'll see what happens there. That's my speed play at Gulfstream. Hopefully the turf course continues to play toward the speed. All right, let's jump into the best bets of the day here. Mine, we'll just go over it real quick, was Frank Harris over 43.5 rushing yards for UTSA. Game kicks off, I think, at 3 o'clock here. All right, Aaron, I don't even know how to set this up. What's your best bet?
All right. Well,
I love this one.
College basketball tonight. I'm going to tell you why. Manhattan, Oral Roberts, and Princeton plus 149 on the money line. I'm going to parlay those 3 together. Here's the deal. I sit here all morning and I study and I narrow it down to like 3 or 4 ones, right? And the one I always go with loses. And then the other 2 or 3 that I almost go with wins. So I said, forget it. I'm going to work hard on the rest of the show. And for the best bet, I'm just winging it today. Manhattan, Oral Roberts, Princeton. Look out for these 3 basketball teams. I'm sure that they're good. I don't know for sure, but I bet they are. They're going to score more points than who they're playing. Plus 149 money line. Go Manhattan. Go Oral Roberts. Go Princeton.
Oral Roberts Owls.
Yes.
What's
the Owls?
No, the Oral Roberts not the Owls. They're
the Titans.
Yes, but they have a big chicken looking thing.
Okay.
I'm sticking with Owls. I like Owls more than Titans.
Princeton,
Manhattan.
Tigers.
What's Manhattan? Tigers?
Jaspers.
Jaspers. There. I knew it was a big cat. And then Princeton Tigers.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. There you go. College info for the day. All right, Papa Dude. I'm gonna apologize to Cindy before we put this up because we know she's a big North Dakota State fan, and you unfortunately are throwing your Papa Dude jinx at him. All right, talks about this parlay.
I'm tickled to death to say she's on here. Okay. Because I hope you're still on, Cindy, because I'm going to give your team props. And this is why I picked them, because I wanted to mention this and I forgot to the other night. All right. This is one of the most amazing stories in sports that never gets talked about because they're not Division I or whatever the hell it is.
Mm-hmm.
Since 2011, their record is 172-17.
Oklahoma-esque.
That is back in the 50s. That is unbelievable.
Wow.
They've won 9 of the last 11 national championships. Cindy can help me on this. I think I read they're on like a 22 or 23 game winning streak in the playoffs. 3 of these 17 losses came in the COVID year when they went 7-3.
You're just cursing them.
I know. The 2 years
he's made 54 field goals in a row. Here he is from 17 yards.
I know. I'm sorry, Cindy. I'm really sorry.
Hey, Sydney, don't worry. I've got good news for you after he's done. But go ahead.
The 2 years they lost in the Final Four. And the other year they were in the Final 8. And nobody mentions them hardly at all. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're on game days up there sometimes.
Yeah, they got one. I don't remember who it was, but it was a couple years back. There was game day up there.
Yeah. Now, this year they're 11-2. This is a down year for the Bison. They're 11-2, but they went to Arizona and lost by 3 to an Arizona team that was better this year. And then they lost to the Jackrabbits at South Dakota State, who happens to be the number 1 seed this year. North Dakota State is not. So, a little worried about this game because Incarnate Word can score. And I am going to watch this tonight. I love watching this. I'm sure it's on TV somewhere.
ESPN 2.
Yeah, I'm going to watch this. I am looking forward to this. It's in the Fargo Dome. Listen, if you like exciting football, this is going to be a great game. Mm-hmm. So the line is 9. I think that's too much, but that's one of them. And then Aaron's ragging me on the Islanders, and I don't blame him because last night I had Boston over the Kings, and Boston blew it in the last minutes and then went through, 8 rounds of a shootout and couldn't score?
Yeah.
Papa Dude curse is real, man. I'm telling you.
I am so pissed off because I thought that was easy. It was 2-0 going into the third period. They were totally dominating the game.
Yeah.
Then they blew a 2-goal lead. Boston hasn't blown a 2-goal lead all year. I'm willing to bet that without even looking.
Yeah, well, they've only lost like 5 games. So.
Yeah, exactly. So they blow that. I'm sweating out the Jets and the other one, the Preds. At one time, the Jets had outshot them 26-9. That one went to overtime for a shootout one. I don't remember. I don't know.
Overtime. Winnipeg won in overtime.
They finally won in overtime.
Yeah.
That was the one I was sweating out the most. Anyway, enough of that shit. The Islanders. There's no way they should lose this game tonight. There's no way. But it's hockey. So who knows? Arizona plays well at home sometime. So that's my parlay. Cindy, I'm sorry. North Dakota State and the Islanders plus 104 tonight.
I think you used all your mojo with that Ohio State half-court chuck 3 followed by the last-second goal.
You're right. You're right.
Your mojo ran out for a little bit. You'll get it back at some point, but your mojo meter's all the way at empty right now.
I'll need a miracle.
Aaron, you want to tell the world why you think Papa Dude's parlay is going to lose?
Well, Sydney, I've got great news for you. North Dakota State is not going to be what busts this up. It's going to be the Arizona Coyotes. I hate to say it, Papa Dude. This game is wildly mispriced. And this is the plus money game to take tonight.
No.
I'm 2 for 2 this week on these plus money games. In both games, you guys are going to know that's not going to happen. Yeah, it's going to happen.
The funny thing is you could play Papa Dude's parlay and bet Arizona. And as long as North Dakota State wins, you make money.
Hey.
I wouldn't recommend doing that, but it would work out for you.
Well, let me tell you something. This team, Arizona at home, if you don't know about their building, it's a very small building. Like they've done a lot of how Arizona still has that team is beyond me, but it's kind of like a college hockey like atmosphere there. And they actually sell out the building because there's not that many people that can go. And so teams have had trouble since they've started playing there, have had trouble going there and winning. Arizona's playing a little bit better now that they can play home games. They played like 100 games on the road to kind of start the year. I think it's a toss-up, so I'll take the plus money on Arizona. I'm not going to be shocked at all if the Islanders win, but if somebody asked me, hey, who should I bet in this game, I will tell them to take Arizona tonight.
Well, Papa, dude, I'll be rooting for the Islanders. I got you. Don't worry.
Well, I know he's just being difficult.
No, it's less. You guys are like, no, Buffalo can't beat Colorado. I said
no.
Can.
No,
we didn't say that.
Yeah. You both looked at me like I was crazy.
No,
I said it's the falling knife scenario with Colorado. You don't know where the bottom is.
I see, and I was not smart enough to even know what that meant. So
you don't either.
All right, let's go over the best bets.
Also said Vancouver would beat the Flames too. So
yeah, that is fair. I poo-pooed the Vancouver pick. That is correct.
I'll go
all
that
right.
one.
Papa dude, going to a little Division II football. This is just ridiculous, guys. I can't even do this. We're going North Dakota State and the Islanders plus 104 for Papa dude. Aaron going to all the conferences here, taking Manhattan, Noel Roberts, and Princeton on the money line plus 149. Give me the 7-year quarterback at UTSA over rush yards of 43.5 in a bowl game. This is we're scraping the bottom of the barrel for these days.
Yes,
Let's get those brooms out. Call it a 3-0 day for the week. We're 2-4, down 215 for the year, down 599. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place for more best bets around the sports and horse racing world. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody. Have a wonderful Friday.